Tinker Bell was flying joyfully around Pixie Hollow, excited for the arrival of spring. The flowers were about to bloom, and the animals were ready to wake from their long winter slumber. But suddenly, Tink noticed something strange. The flowers weren't opening, and the air was still chilly. Something was wrong. Tinker Bell rushed to gather her friends: Silvermist the Water Fairy, Iridessa the Light Fairy, Rosetta the Garden Fairy, and Fawn the Animal Fairy. "Something's wrong with spring," Tinker Bell exclaimed. "We need to find out what happened and fix it." The fairies gathered at the pixie dust tree, where Queen Clarion was waiting. "Fairies, the changing of the seasons is in danger," the queen said gravely. "The keeper of spring, Lord Thistle, is missing, and without him, spring cannot begin." Tinker Bell and her friends decided to search for clues. They flew through the forest, looking for signs of Lord Thistle. Fawn spotted a trail of golden petals. "Let's follow them," she suggested. As they followed the trail, the fairies entered a thick, mysterious fog. Silvermist tried to clear it with her water magic, but the fog was too strong. "This isn't natural," Iridessa said, her light flickering. "Something magical is blocking us." Suddenly, the fairies heard laughter. They looked up to see a group of mischievous frost fairies. "What are you doing here?" Tinker Bell asked. "We don't usually see frost fairies in spring." One of the frost fairies giggled. "We heard Lord Thistle was missing, so we thought we'd have some fun." The frost fairies revealed that they had frozen Lord Thistle in an icy cage to stop spring from coming. "But why?" Rosetta asked. "Because we wanted winter to last longer," said one frost fairy, playfully twirling in the air. Tinker Bell and her friends knew they had to free Lord Thistle. "We need to melt the ice," said Silvermist. "But how?" Iridessa thought for a moment. "Maybe if we combine our powers, we can create enough warmth to break the ice." The fairies gathered around the icy cage. Iridessa shone her brightest light, Silvermist sprinkled warm water, Rosetta called on the warmth of the earth, and Fawn encouraged the animals to help. Tinker Bell flew above, directing the efforts. Slowly, the ice around Lord Thistle began to melt. "It's working," cried Rosetta. But just as they were making progress, the frost fairies swooped down, trying to stop them. Tinker Bell and her friends were ready. They quickly teamed up to fend off the frost fairies. Iridessa blinded them with flashes of light, Silvermist used her water to create slippery paths, and Tink tricked them with clever inventions made from nearby twigs and leaves. With the frost fairies distracted, the friends continued their efforts to melt the ice. Finally, with one last push, the icy cage shattered, and Lord Thistle was free. He stretched his wings and smiled at the fairies. "Thank you for rescuing me." The frost fairies, realizing their prank had gone too far, apologized to Lord Thistle and the other fairies. "We didn't mean for it to get this serious," said the leader of the frost fairies. "We just wanted more winter fun." Lord Thistle smiled kindly. "Winter has its place, just as spring does. But we must always let the seasons change in their time." The frost fairies promised never to interfere with spring again. With Lord Thistle free, he waved his hand, and the air warmed up. The flowers bloomed, the animals woke up, and the trees burst into green. Spring had finally arrived. All of Pixie Hollow gathered to celebrate the arrival of spring. Tinker Bell and her friends were heroes, and they flew joyfully among the blooming flowers, happy that they had saved the season. Spring was more beautiful than ever.